Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. As you probably noticed by the title and all of that, this is going to be a video a little bit different from what I usually post. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Bia. I'm an illustrator from Portugal and I usually post more studio vlogs. I also post tutorials about how I do products for my shop, like notebooks, notepads and all those kind of things. Since last year, I focused a lot on my shop, and in the end of the year I was feeling a little burned out because I felt like I was constantly creating and having like this pressure to create new things, and I stopped to think about things as you usually do, and I started to feel like I was creating a lot of things just for the sake of it and to have new stuff and new illustration and all of that. And I was getting to a point where I not really stopped enjoying what I was doing, because I still loved illustrating and all of that, but I was not enjoying the process as much as I wanted. Because of that, so I made like a pact with myself that this year I was going to make some changes about my work, about my content and all of that, and trying to make an effort to just create whenever I felt like to, and create stuff that I was passionate about and not stuff that, I don't know, I felt like people expected me to do, and I felt this especially at the end of the year when it comes to like Christmas stuff and all of that, and I kind of just was creating just because everyone else was creating Christmas themes and winter themes and all of that. And I think that was the point for me where I just realized that I need to change how I create and all of that. So yeah, this year I wanted to create more art and make more time for it. And I really want this channel to be more about that as well. When you are creating videos and you are creating content and all of that, you are also trying to see what might work, what might not. And last year I made a tutorial video of how I do my notebooks, and that video ended up doing really well. It's right now at 600,000 views, which is crazy. And my channel started to grow because of that video, and I didn't really think a lot about that, but I started to create a lot of content focusing on my shop, on my products, on my notebooks, because I felt like since that video went really well and my channel started to grow because of that, I should focus on content like that to grow even more and reach a larger audience and all of that. And I was starting to feel a little bit lost with it. I was starting to feel like I was Bia, the content creator and the stationery maker and the shop owner, and not as much like Bia, the illustrator. And I know that sounds a little bit weird, but yeah, that was what I was feeling. And it's just how people perceive me, and it doesn't matter, but it was, I don't know, affecting my perspective of myself as well. And I really want to be like, my dream was to be an illustrator and illustrate, and I was feeling like I was spending almost no time doing it. And when I was doing it, I was feeling kind of forced to create collections and to create all of these things. So yeah, I took a step back, and this year I would love to create more art and things that I'm passionate about. And yeah, this is what I'm doing right here. Until this moment, I don't even know the last time that I painted. And before doing digital work and all of that, I used to paint only with watercolors, like all of my things were made with watercolors. So it's kind of weird to think about that I went from painting to creating digitally and not even touching a brush anymore. So yeah, that's a reminder to do things that you love, and not just create just because you feel like to. And that's the thing that I've been trying to change in my day-to-day. It's hard, and actually I asked on Instagram a couple of questions to talk about on this video, and one of the questions was how not to get discouraged. I often get super afraid about freelancing, and that's the thing that I feel like it was pushing me to create, and trying to create new collections, trying to create new products for the shop, and having like this sense that I had to keep doing new stuff because of that fear that we have, like, and I don't think it ever gets better. I've been a freelancer for almost 2 years now, so I don't think it gets better. Like, you feel like all of this can go away and disappear all of a sudden. So I was basically trying to create as much as I could, because I was also really afraid that I wouldn't have an income, that people wouldn't buy from my shop if there wasn't new products. And I think this is a thing that is affected by a lot of things near us. Like, we see all of these shops constantly having new products, new collections. Every time we go to a shopping, there's like new things in there. So I think this is kind of the reality that we live in. So we as creators are trying to navigate towards that as well, and having this constant thing that we have to keep creating all the time, and having new stuff. Otherwise we are going to be forgotten, and people won't even remember us. So yeah, it's hard not to get discouraged, especially when like things are not really good, when you start seeing money not coming in, or you start seeing your income going a little bit down. So I totally get you, and I know it's kind of disencouraging as well, hearing that it doesn't get better, but it's this thing that society makes us think that if we are not on a stable job, and one thing that all of these things that happened for the past 2 years taught us is that there's not a stable job. That's like there's not of a wrong concept, but when you're not working for someone else, you get like this fear that you're not going to be able to pay bills, not going to be able to, have a life and all of that. So we just keep trying to make things so that doesn't happen. So yeah, I'm trying to fight that as well, but I think that was also really, really related to the fear thing and all of that. We just have to keep trying, and I just want to leave this out there as well. It's okay to find a part-time job. It's okay to find a full-time job if you are feeling really, really down, because when you get on this loop of feeling discouraged, and when you are too afraid, sometimes you can just get back on the swing of things and keep creating and keep encouraging yourself. But I know that when you get into this loop of overthinking things and all of that, it's okay if you have to stop and find a full-time job or a part-time job to help you with that, and help you be more relaxed again and all of that. And if things are not going your way or as you expected, that is okay. Once I started, I had like this few months, I just got back from like a 4-month trip in Asia. I was really low on money, but I had this thing that I really wanted to go freelancing and start my business and all of that. And I had like this idea that I would make stickers, I would put them on Etsy and they would sell really fast, but that didn't happen. And I wanted to invest in my business. I wanted to buy a printer, I wanted to buy a silhouette. I wanted all of these things, and I wasn't seeing things coming to a reality, so I was feeling really discouraged. So I just stopped and I went to work in a hairdresser. Actually, I think I never mentioned this. And I worked there for around 3 or 4 weeks until I got a part-time job doing social media for a company and photography and all of that. So it's okay to stop, reevaluate things, and if that fear and all of that overthinking, it's really affecting your work and your mental health, it's okay to find a part-time job so you don't feel this pressure to create, to make a living and all of that. Even if it's just for a while, it doesn't mean it's going to be forever. But it's okay to do it, and all of that. So just a little reminder. I hope that answered your question. Let me know if you want me to talk a little bit more about this kind of topics. I'm really passionate about it, so I'm more than happy to talk about it for you guys. Another question that I got that I find really interesting was being an art business with a low following. Is it possible? And I'm going to say yes, and this question can be answered in so many ways, and there are so many possibilities, and it really depends on how you want to go with your business. Like if you have an online shop, it really depends in a lot of things. You can have a low following and go into Etsy and having like an amazing SEO and all of that, and having a bunch of sales on Etsy and having 200 followers on Instagram or something, and have a really very good successful business because you've put the time into working on that SEO and reaching more people on that platform and all of that. And I feel it's always a lot about putting effort. And yes, I do believe that you don't have to have like a major following to have a successful business. Once I started my Patreon, I think I had like 2K on YouTube or something like that. And it was still like a successful launch. I was able to get sales and all of these things. So I think it's possible. And also I think it really depends on what you want to do. Like if you want to do like a more in-person kind of sales, doing markets and all of that, I don't think having like a low following or a big following will affect those things, because it will be more like an in-person kind of thing, or have like a physical shop and all of that. I think online presence is always important and you should always try to have that. But I don't think it's the most important thing, and I really believe that it's not. You can have still a successful business even not having an online presence and all of that. If you are a painter and you work more with galleries, or as I mentioned, you are doing markets and stuff like that, it's always possible. You just have to look into all the possibilities and all of that, and trying to see what is best for your kind of work and all of that. But there's so many possibilities and all of that. So yeah, I hope this answered the question as well. It's the morning, so it's still hard for me to process ideas and all of that. It's always really hard for me to put the words out there. It makes more sense in my head, so I hope it's not too confusing or anything. Another question, and we are reaching the end of the video. It's, what is your favorite product from your store, and which is a customer favorite? Right now, my favorite is between the berry pin and the mountains notepad. It keeps changing. And a customer favorite, I think I'm going to go from the last time I look into the analytics of my website. It's the Positivity washi that is out of stock right now. I just got it this week. week, and I'm going to post the unboxing next week on a studio vlog. So I really hope you enjoy it. I had a few more questions, but I'm running out of time. This is me finishing the painting digitally. As you saw, I started the painting with gouache, and then I've put it on my iPad and I finished it digitally, and I'm so in love with all the textures and how it looks. So yeah, this was a print for March for Patreon, and I'm really happy with it. I'm so happy that I'm putting more time into my illustrations and trying to improve them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing the process of this little frog painting, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay, bye!